We often carry pain, guilt, and regret in our hearts, even though God has already forgiven us. It's like walking with a backpack full of stones, heavy, unnecessary, and no longer yours to bear. You can't move forward if you keep looking back. Have you noticed how hard it is to take a step when your eyes are fixed on yesterday? Every mistake, every wrong word echoes in your mind, pulling you down. We live on repeat, reliving moments that ended long ago. But the past is not meant to be your prison. It's meant to be your teacher. Look around you. The sun still rises and the air still fills your lungs. That's no coincidence. It's a sign. A sign that you still have a path, a purpose, a reason to keep going. God doesn't live in your mistakes. He lives in your now. He doesn't see you as fallen. He sees you as rising. Let go. Just let go. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's strength. The strength to admit that the past has no power over who you are today. The strength to believe that you deserve a new beginning. Every time you choose regret over gratitude, you miss the chance to truly live. So release your guilt, open your hands, and God will fill them with peace. Don't drag yesterday into today. It's already over. A new morning is waiting ahead, and it's yours. Subscribe to the channel if these words speak to your heart. Here, we learn to let go, to believe, and to begin again together.
We often get trapped in memories of what we did wrong. We replay our mistakes, the words we shouldn't have said, the actions we can't forget. It seems to us that God remembers them too, that He keeps a record of our failures. But that's not true. God doesn't live in the past, He lives in the present. He doesn't keep a list of your mistakes. He doesn't go back to the moments where you stumbled. He looks at you now and sees not your guilt but your potential. He sees who you can become if you stop holding on to what's already gone. Every new day is proof that God isn't finished with you yet. If your life had no meaning, no breath, no purpose, you wouldn't have woken up today. But you did. You're here. And that means you still have a mission, a reason to live. The past may whisper, "You're unworthy. You've ruined everything." But God says something else. "I'm not done yet." He doesn't dwell on your failures. He turns them into strength. He doesn't punish you with your memories. He calls you forward. God isn't in the days when you cried, nor in the moments when you fell. He's in the moment you decide to rise again. He's in your breath, in your choice to keep going, in every step you take, despite the weight of yesterday. As long as you keep looking back, you can't see the light in front of you. God isn't behind you, He's here beside you right now. And if you want to hear His voice, stop searching for Him where everything has already ended. Listen, He speaks in your breath, in the stillness of your heart. This is where God lives. Many people think forgiveness is an instant act, a single word or prayer that makes everything disappear. But in truth, forgiveness is a journey. It's an inner decision that must be made again and again until the heart becomes free. When you say, "God, forgive me," He has already answered, "I have forgiven you." The problem isn't that God hasn't forgiven, it's that we refuse to believe it. We keep carrying guilt as if it were sacred, as if suffering were payment. We think, "I must feel pain to make things right." But God never asked for pain. He asked for trust. Guilt is not the voice of God. It's the echo of your memories, the reflection of old fears, shame, and doubt. God doesn't whisper condemnation. He whispers hope. His voice is gentle but alive. He says, "You can begin again. You are not what you've done. You are who you choose to become." Forgiveness doesn't happen when guilt disappears. It happens when you choose to believe you are no longer its prisoner. It's not weakness to admit that you are forgiven. It's strength. The strength to let go. The strength to live. Every time you revisit the past with pain, ask yourself, who is speaking now? God or the echo? God calls you forward, the echo pulls you back, and only you can decide which one to listen to. Forgiveness doesn't begin with forgetting. It begins with realization. You are already free. All that's left is to believe it. Because forgiveness isn't just a feeling. It's the choice of a heart that has finally decided to stop living in the shadow of guilt and to step into the light of hope. Many of us ask God for a new beginning, for healing, peace, and blessing. We pray, we wait, we hope, yet we often don't notice that our hands are still full. We're holding on to the old, to guilt, pain, and regret. We cling to the past so tightly that there's no room left for the gift God has already prepared. You can't receive the new if you don't let go of the old. It's like trying to breathe in without exhaling, like trying to hold water in closed hands. Everything meant for you simply slips away. Guilt often disguises itself as something noble. It whispers, "You're suffering, so you must be atoning." But that's a lie. Suffering doesn't make you pure. It only keeps you stuck where God has already opened the door. Guilt creates the illusion of holiness, but deep down, it's just fear. Fear of being free. Fear of believing that you are worthy of a new life. God isn't waiting for you to pay for your past. The price has already been paid. He's not waiting for your suffering. He's waiting for your trust. He doesn't need your punishment. He wants your heart. A heart unafraid to let go. When you decide to release the old, you don't lose. You make space. Space for peace, for love, for a new chapter that God wants to write with you. We often think that by letting go, we lose a part of ourselves. But in truth, only by letting go do we finally become who we truly are. The old cannot walk with you into the future. If you want to step into the light, you must open your hands. Because blessings never come to hands that are already full. Guilt is one of the heaviest states of the soul. It feels just, almost righteous. We tell ourselves, "I must suffer. I am guilty," as if passing sentence on ourselves. But the truth is, guilt is a cage without a lock. We sit in it by our own choice, even though the door is already open. God does not keep us in captivity. He does not place bars or lock the heart. Everything that holds us back is our own habit of feeling unworthy. We are afraid to accept freedom because we have lived under this weight for so long. We confuse forgiveness with forgetting and believe we have no right to peace. But God does not call us to suffer forever. He calls us to life. He says, "Rise, go, I have already forgiven you." Guilt does not hold you, you hold it. And as long as you cling to it, your hands are full and you cannot receive blessing. Blessing does not come to hands that are already full. When you let go of guilt, space is freed. Space for peace, which brings calm to the heart. Space for gratitude, which replaces fear. Space for the voice of God, quiet yet certain.
He does not speak loudly because he does not want to force you. He waits until you stop listening to the noise of your guilt and hear his whisper. You were not made to live in a cage. You were made to breathe, to love, to move forward. Guilt does not give you wings. It only weighs you down. But when you open your hands and let go, you realize the door was always open. You just hadn't dared to take the step outside.
Forgiveness is not just about forgetting mistakes or turning a blind eye to our faults. It goes much deeper. When God forgives, He doesn't merely erase what has happened. He creates in us a new breath, a new life. He fills us with a power that transforms our hearts, our thoughts, and even the way we see the world. Forgiveness is not an eraser that removes the past. It is a rebirth. It is the moment when you stop being a prisoner of your mistakes and begin to see yourself anew. You are no longer the one who fell. You are the one who rose. You are no longer lost. You are found. And in this new heart, light is born. A light that was once hidden under the weight of guilt and regret. We become vessels through which light flows. Light of understanding, hope, and love. When the heart is forgiven, it can both receive and give. It sees not the faults of others, but their potential. It learns to love unconditionally and to be a source of inspiration for those still in darkness. Forgiveness turns us into bearers of light in a world where many are still searching for the way. Everyone who accepts forgiveness is given the chance to start anew, the chance to breathe freely, to see miracles in simple things, and to walk toward their purpose. Forgiveness opens doors that were once closed and fills the heart with peace and joy.
When a person accepts forgiveness, they are freed from the weight of guilt and shame. This freedom changes not only themselves, but also how they see the world around them. A free person no longer judges others for their mistakes. They understand that everyone walks their own path, experiencing their own falls and rises. Instead of judgment, they learn to see the potential hidden behind others' weaknesses. The story of such a person is no longer about guilt. It becomes a story of victory, mercy, and light. Every hardship endured, every mistake they have faced and released transforms into a strength capable of inspiring others. Their experience becomes proof that even after the deepest falls, there is a way back to the light, and that even the heaviest moments can be overcome. God raises us not only for our own sake. When we are freed and become a light, we begin to illuminate the path for those still in darkness. Our steps, our words, our forgiven hearts can become beacons of hope for others. A free person carries light to places that were once dark, places where someone is still searching, still afraid to believe in a new beginning. Freedom from guilt and acceptance of forgiveness make a person a vessel of God's mercy. They learn to see not mistakes, but opportunities, not failures, but lessons, not fears, but hope. And in this way, a person who was once trapped by their past becomes someone who helps others rise, showing that the path to the light exists. True freedom manifests through serving others. When we live forgiven, we begin to carry light, inspiration, and hope into a world that so often searches for a way out of its darkness.
Many believe that to be an example or to inspire others, they must be perfect. But this is a misconception. True strength is not in flawlessness, but in sincerity. Being genuine with your wounds and scars means you can share an experience that may help others. When we open our hearts and speak the truth about our mistakes and falls, we show others that they are not alone. Truth spoken from a scar is stronger than any sermon without pain. It reaches the depths of the soul because people hear it not only with their mind but with their heart. They feel that hardships can be overcome, that after every fall there is a rise, that light is possible even after darkness. God gives each of us a mission. This mission is not merely to live for ourselves, but to bring peace to places where there was once guilt, where there was judgment and fear. When we have walked the path of forgiveness and healing, we become vessels of this light for others. We show the way to those still trapped by past mistakes, to those searching for a way out of darkness. Sincerity is a power that transforms not only ourselves, but those around us. It opens hearts, lifts fears, and allows people to see possibilities instead of limitations. It is the ability to speak the truth about oneself and one's life without hiding weakness, while inspiring change. True strength lies in being yourself, accepting yourself with scars, sharing your story, and bringing light to places that were once dark. Sincerity makes us not only strong, but necessary, because through our truth and openness, God works in the world, bringing peace, hope, and freedom to others. Forgiveness transforms a person completely. When we accept forgiveness, we stop being prisoners of the past. We are no longer just survivors of mistakes, falls, and disappointments. We become witnesses of God's mercy and power. Our experience turns into a light that can illuminate the path for others. A forgiven person carries a special calm. This calm does not come from the absence of problems, but from the certainty that the past is released, that the burden of guilt has been lifted. It becomes a living testimony that freedom is possible, that it is possible to live differently, beyond fear and shame. Every step, every smile, every word is a sign that the person is free. And even if guilt returns, even if old thoughts and fears try to occupy your heart again, remember this: God has already forgiven you. He does not require us to relive punishment or dwell on our mistakes. All that is needed is to remember that the gift of forgiveness has already been given, and to take a step toward a life that is free and full of meaning. The testimony of a forgiven person is especially important for those still searching for the way to the light. Your story, your experience, and your openness become a beacon for others. You show that even after the deepest falls, it is possible to arise. You show that mercy is real, hope exists, and light overcomes darkness, even when darkness once lived within you. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn how to let go of the past, embrace forgiveness, and become a light for others. Here, we learn to be witnesses of God's mercy, to inspire, and to carry light to those still seeking their way home.